So the fork was successful from our side. We pushed the updated code to our repository. Now we have to inform the owner of the original repository about us wanting to, well, merge this change into his branch, into his repository. The owner doesn't know about that. What he or she does know though is that if we check out this fork area, and I'm here still in the corresponding forked repository, you can see that we have this one here. And if we click onto that, we are in the insights ribbon here inside the repository. And there you see that, well, this repository got forked by the Manuel Lawrence account. And, well, that's the repository name. This means the owner can or does know that we forked the repository, but now we want to inform him that we want to implement these changes based on our fork. For this, we have to go back to our other account where we pushed the forked code in here now. And there I'm also inside the repository, and here I'll go now to the pull requests ribbon. Here you can find the description, so pull requests help us to collaborate on code with other people, so we can contribute to other projects with this logic, and we can either click right here to create a pull request or click over there. I'll select the green button. Now we have to select two things. First, we have to select the base repository and the corresponding branch, so to the left of this arrow here. To the left means this is the repository, the initial repository we want this change to be implemented to. This means in our case, the base repository is the repository we forked, so the initial one, and we forked the master branch, so this is okay. And to the right, we should define where the forked repository sits in our account here and which branch should be merged. So if you select this, we only have the master branch. If you would have multiple branches, then you would have to select this one here. You can also see that GitHub automatically checks if the merge would be successful in theory. You see we are able to merge here, so this would work. If you scroll down a bit further, you can also see what we changed. So we see that we have one changed file, one addition, and 0 deletions. So we basically added this feature text file and the corresponding folder and some text in this file. So this gives us a first overview of the changes that we have compared to the initial commit in the master branch in our case. So for us, everything would work here perfectly. By the way, if you cannot see this option here, you can always go to compare across forks. Then this will be the view where you just can, well, compare the two branches here. But if you click again, then you should see also the base repository. So this means you can also choose other base repositories and also other so-called head repositories. So the repositories, the branch you want to merge is based upon. Now with our setup here, we are actually fine. So this should be our pull request. So basically our request to the owner of the actual repo to pull our changes and to also merge these into his master branch. Because remember from the Git module, pull simply means fetch plus merge. Therefore, that's what we want to do here. So let's create that pull request now. And as part of this, we can now also, well, leave a comment to give the owner of the repository a better idea about what changed. So we could also first give it a new headline, say added shopping cart feature, for example, and there comment more things about the ways we implemented the code, what we did, how we added the code, and which parts of the code we changed. I'll leave this comment section open here and just type something changed XYZ. So this is basically changes applied to the code. So always make sure to be precise here to give the owner of the repository a quick idea about what you changed inside of his code. Besides that, we can again see what we changed down here. We could say that the code is actually fine like this. This means we can create this pull request right here. So let's finally do that. Now we see that the pull request was opened. Down here you can again see that we have no conflicts with the base branch here. So this shouldn't cause any trouble. There we see our comment, not very helpful at this stage, of course. There we see the headline, so what we did. And there we see that it's an open pull request. So now is the time to change to the owner of the initial repository and to see what this pull request looks like from his side. For that, I'm back in, well, my account here, the owner account, and let's reload the page maybe. And there we see under pull requests, we have one new incoming request. Let's have a look. And there we see that we have one open request in here. We see that we can open it by clicking onto it. And there we actually see everything we saw on the other side of the page, so to say, on the side of the creator of the pull request. Here you see basically the headline I added. There you see the comment I added. And if we click onto here, you can see all the code changes made in the file and what we changed and so on. So with this, we are able to review the changes in a lot of detail. We could also click onto review changes here in the right part of the screen, right there. And there we could leave a comment. This can be a general feedback without saying what you did is okay. This could be some feedback saying, hey, you did it well, you could improve this and that, but I'm all right with the changes. Or you could say, well, this doesn't work as intended. Please improve this and that before I can merge this. If we click onto the page and close this window and go back, by the way, you can also find a comment section on here. So here you could also type some feedback if you want to and comment this pull request. Or alternatively down here, we could also close the pull request. This means we would not merge it. We would just say, okay, I'm not happy with that pull request, but what you did. So I can also close it without a comment if I want to, like this. Then this request would be closed. You can see the red, well, symbol up here. You can also see what happened. So if we go up and then go into the code, nothing changed because the pull request was not successful. If we switch back to the, well, account who opened the pull request, you can also see it was closed. Therefore, well, I also know that this didn't work. So we can then delete this fork in the settings if we want to. So this was an unsuccessful pull request. However, if we go back to our owner account again, in here, and then go back to the pull requests, you can also open closed requests again. So if we click onto it, then open the pull request, then we can scroll down to the menu where we closed it, and there we can reopen our pull request. If we do that, see, this takes a few seconds to check if merging is possible. And then we could say, okay, I'm actually happy with what you changed, so let me merge this pull request now with this button here. And if we do this, then we add a new commit to our master branch. Although this is all happening on GitHub, we create a new git commit in the end with the merged information. Therefore, as we are happy with the merge, we can confirm it. And now we merge the commit into master, and up here we get the information that the merge, well, occurred with that merged symbol. And if we then go back to our code up here, you see that the forked folder is now, well, available in our repository. If we check out our commits, you can also see that we have that merge pull request, well, committed into our repository. And if we check our pull requests once again, we see that we have one closed pull request, which we again can access if we want to. So we have it in here. So we could again open it. There we see what happened. And now, well, we cannot reopen it, but we could revert that commit if you want to. So still, if you accidentally, well, confirmed that merge, you can still undo it. Nevertheless, make sure to check things twice before merging it into your project. But generally, let's go back to the code. This is what a successful fork and pull request process looks like. If you again check the page of the person who initiated the pull request now, you can see here that the merge was also successful. If we check the code, nothing changed, of course. But we see in the pull requests area that we have one closed pull request. So basically the same menu we had on the other side for the owner of the initial repository. And if we check this pull request, well, we can also see that it was closed in here. And if you want to delete the forked repository finally, as I said it before, we can go to the settings in here. And there we could then delete it. Well, as I said, I won't do this right here at this stage. We can keep the fork, but basically after you merge the forked repository with the initial one, you can of course delete it. As I said, I will keep it here as it doesn't hurt in our case. By the way, we are still in the good old settings menu here in our GitHub Basics repository in the forked one though, just to be sure we are still on the same page. So this is it basically for pull requests. One last thing I would like to show you though is that we have the pull requests menu here inside our project, of course, in the corresponding repository. And we also have this menu up here for pull requests. If we click onto this, you can see that we have an overview of all pull requests that basically took place in your account. Previous view was always inside the repository, but here if you click onto these closed ones, you see that we have 3 pull requests, 3 closed pull requests here inside my account. These 2 requests here are related to the next course module. I mentioned this already. With that, we explored a lot of different menus here in GitHub, but besides our pull requests up here, we also have these issues up here. So this is the next topic we're going to explore in this module.